What's up, friends? Welcome into another episode of Tables, Tailgates, and Top Loaders. I'm your host, TB, and this is the Week 4 game preview of Bills vs. Saints coming at you from the 3Ts podcast. We have a lot to dive into, but thank you so much for stopping in and checking out the podcast and this game preview. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right into this game preview. Bills Saints Sunday, September 28th at 1 p.m., Orchard Park, New York. A few news and notes from the week. The power rankings are out after 4 weeks. After surviving the Dolphins, winning 31-21, most publications, USA Today, Pro Football, the same old stories, Bleacher Report, NFL, yada, yada. They have the Bills sitting at number 2 behind the Philadelphia Eagles. My takeaway, I think if our defense was a little better and we had come out and destroyed the Dolphins and didn't win by just 10 points, if we had beat them, I don't know, by 30, 40 points, if they had fired Mike McDaniel, we might be sitting at number 1. But as it turns out, most publications have the Bills sitting squarely at 2. I'm okay with that. I think we got some work to do, but we shall see what happens moving forward. Someone from Pro Football Network named the Bills as a potential suitor for none other than disgruntled Miami Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill, the former number 1 player on the NFL Top 100 list. Everyone is expecting him to be traded by the Dolphins. They are likely to start selling off pieces as they continue, or if they continue to lose games. This is going to be an absolute no thank you for me. There are obvious clickbait articles, and to me, this article fell right into that category. I don't care what Pro Football Network has to say. There is no chance Hill is ever going to be a Buffalo Bill. He has been bashing the Bills in the past on his social media accounts or in interviews or what have you. He's bashed them, and there's no way he's going to be fit for this team. He's got an attitude. He's got a history. I don't want to have him ever don the red, white, and blue of the Bills. And as we get into this game preview, there is a specific wide receiver on the other side of the field Sunday I would love to see come over to the Bills via trade. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Buffalo Rumblings put out an article about James Cook's fast start, and they cited Cook as being the NFL's only player to total at least 100 yards from scrimmage and have a touchdown in each game. So clearly, the re-signing and the new contract for Cook thus far has been a huge success. His workload, we have seen his workload go up about 10 to 15%, but right now he is absolutely crushing it. My concern, are we possibly pushing too hard in the early parts of this season to get this offense on track? I'm concerned with his body type and the way he's not that big a guy. That's not that big a guy, let's be honest. So I'm concerned maybe he wears down when we need him most heading into the playoffs. So far in his career, his workload has been extremely light. And he has, if we look back to college in his rookie year, it's been pretty late. And he has a tendency also to constantly avoid the big hit. He doesn't take the big hit. He's a very smart running back. And right now I put him up there amongst the league's best. So you can argue he's playing the best at the position in the entire league. Saquon's been okay. And Henry, I don't know what his problem is, but he can't seem to hold on to the ball. So it's not a stretch to put Cook on top of the running back leaderboard so far. I think he's been well worth the money. And so by all accounts, the contract, huge success. Let's just keep him healthy. Let's keep him ready to go so he is ready to destroy whoever we play in the playoffs. And finally, on a lighter note, to end the news and notes section, James Cook is also getting his own cookie. That's right, folks. The James Cookie, to be exact, is here. This limited edition treat, quote, blends hometown pride with pro caliber flavor, end quote. So what kind of cookie is this? Well, it's got pretzels, Rice Krispie Crunch bites in it, toffee, white chocolate, and my favorite, red, white, and blue sprinkles. So what's not to like? I think I might have to pick one of these bad boys up when I am in Western New York. There you have it. That's the news and notes section. So let's dive right in and see what we got on the injury front for the Bills. We still have Matt Milano, his pec injury. He's got that. I don't know whether this is a tear. No one's saying anything, just that he's not on the practice field. So it's not looking good for Milano to suit up on Sunday. And Ed Oliver, he's still dealing with his ankle injury. At this point, I just say keep them out. We don't need him. Rest him up. Give him a whole nother week. Be ready to go Sunday night against the Patriots. I think we should be able to deal with this Saints team without our full complement of defensive starters. So why push it with these two guys? Why push Milano and Oliver? I do hope we are able to generate more push up front on the D-line this week. It was dreadful last week. And so the replacements for Oliver, y'all need to be ready to go. No more this is a short week excuse to have as to why they are getting demolished off the ball. Spencer Brown, this one was a surprise. This popped up on the injured list. He's got a calf injury. Apparently he suffered this during the Dolphins game, but he played through it. And all of a sudden, he hasn't been practicing. He did not practice on Thursday. As of now, it's looking like Ryan Vandermark is going to probably start this game in his absence. Again, if this is an injury that's going to linger and we can kind of, nip it right here and now and get him ready to go, I say set him out, rest him up, and get better. But I don't really like hearing our starting right tackle is hurt again. He obviously had some back issues in training camp, preseason, stuff like that. He's had, history of back injuries, and I want him ready to go. So if he's dealing with this calf, that's not good. AJ Epinesa also showed up as limited. He's dealing with a pectoral issue as well. What is it with these guys and their pec issues? Are they maybe pushing the weight too hard on the chest flies? I don't know. Chill out. Maybe a few less reps. Turn the weight down a little. I'm not sure what's going on with the pec injuries, but other than that, he should probably be good to go on Sunday. Injuries for the Saints. Dylan Radunze, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he's got a toe injury. He did not practice on Thursday. He most likely is going to be out of the game. Starting defensive end, their best pass rusher, Chase Young. He's dealing with a calf injury. He also did not practice and is probably going to be out as well. And those are probably the two biggest names from the Saints side of the field. So what are some themes, storylines heading into this game? The Saints come into this game carrying a fantastic record of 0-3, and they just got absolutely smoked by the Seattle Seahawks, 44-13 in Seattle. Now, it's week 4, and already this team looks to be in complete shambles. Spencer Rattler, their starting QB, right now, he's got a fantastic record of 0-9 as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He is averaging 8 yards per completion, which is by far the worst mark in the league, and it's by about 2.5 yards. That's really bad, folks. Really bad. Yikes. The team just can't seem to connect on anything slightly past the line of scrimmage, and they have one completion. That's right, one completion of 25 yards or more for the whole year. So 3 games, one completion, 25 yards or more. Yikes. Be prepared for a dink and dunk game. He's probably going to take his shots, but they have been all over the map. So I fully expect them to, if they can't hit those deep shots, which they're going to take, they're just going to dink and dunk it all over the place, especially if Milano is out again. Before the season started, I sent out a poll asking people to rank how much they fear the quarterbacks the Bills will be facing this season. And to no one's surprise, Spencer Rattler was at the very bottom of the list. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe the team around him is just trash. I'm not sure, but I just don't think he is very good. How about we go with that? I don't think he's very good. And in my opinion, if the Bills get a sizable lead, we may see a quarterback change at halftime. Tyler Shaw, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Maybe they bring in this kid, see what he can do in Orchard Park. So rookie showing up in Orchard Park against the Bills Sunday afternoon. What could possibly go wrong? Well, the Bills, on the Bills side of the field, the Bills come into this contest 3-0 and in first place of the AFC East after a 31-21 win over the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football in Week 3. Through the first 3 games, the Bills clearly have not been operating on all cylinders. We have seen this despite their 3-0 record. We've seen the defense getting gashed. The third down defense last week was an absolute train wreck. The offense, while they have been explosive at times they've been explosive, they've also gone into what I call shutdown mode. Like, there's been points where they just don't even seem to take the field when we have the ball. I don't know what's going on. It seems like at some point during each game, there's this middle stretch where they just don't show up, and it's like 3-4 punts in a row, and they're not very consistent. Josh Allen, outside of the fourth quarter against the Ravens in the first game, he hasn't been asked to do much of anything. So this has led a lot of Bills fans to start questioning the offense. What is the long-term plan for this offense, Joe Brady? I have been asking this question every single week. And I get that they are trying to establish the run, but if that's all they want to do is establish the run and just be this power run game, I hope that's not the plan for the whole season. I hope we don't have a awesome sports car sitting in the garage with the cover on it, as I've alluded to before. I don't want Josh Allen to be sitting in the garage for the entire season. It's time for him to take some shots. I say that because I recognize, yes, we are still putting up points. We have scored 102 points in 3 games, which is the 4th most in the league so far. That's pretty good. Pretty good. We are winning, but I think we are leaving so many drives and so many points on the field. I think we could be crushing Cats. I think there have been points where the play calling has been extremely conservative, and we should be putting these teams away. You know how I feel about this. My goal every week, every Sunday, every time we take the field, 40 points. Each and every week, go get 40. Maxwell Hairston, he's been seen at practice this week. He's starting to work out. He's got this huge brace on his knee, but he's doing a lot more work. We shall see when his window to return is opened up. This leaves Trey White, Christian Benford to deal with Chris Olave this week, who, in my opinion, is their absolute best player. He's a beast. He is a freaking beast. In my opinion, he's their best pass catcher, and we need to contain him and eliminate the big plays. Rattler I think he's going to take some shots because he tries to take shots. He's just terrible at it. So I think he's going to try to take some shots and chuck the rock down the field to Olave, but we have to be ready to go. Folks, it is not too early to start thinking about the 1 seed. I know this is only week 4, but we have a chance to stomp the gas pedal to the floor and keep building on our conference lead over some of the other frontrunners. Clearly, I'm talking about the Chiefs and the Ravens. I know the Chargers are also 3-0, and the Colts are playing well as well. But long-term play, maybe the Chargers hang around. I think the Colts have gotten some beginner's luck this season. We shall see how Daniel Jones can keep the momentum going in Indy, but I'm not too concerned with them. Obviously, going into it, it's been the Chiefs and the Ravens, and I got to be honest, I haven't been overly enthusiastic about diving into this Week 4 game because I think this game should be an easy win. The Bills need to show up off a longer rest, take care of business, get this Saints team back down south, kick them out of town, and then just show up, handle your business, make this a typical work day. The game of the week that everyone's going to be focused on is Ravens going into Arrowhead and taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be a crazy game because both teams are sitting at 1-2, and with the prospect of taking that 3rd loss in the 4th week of the season, neither one of those teams with playoff aspirations and higher was expecting that. So they need to try to right their ship early, and whoever loses that game is, in my opinion, they got no shot at the 1. So here's the opportunity. Bills need to go 4-0. Really plant their flag and saying, hey, we are the front runners for the 1 seed. We need it. This is what we've been waiting for years. And I think it can be ours if we keep our foot on the gas. X factors for the game. For the Saints, I don't think they have much of a choice. I think they have to come out being super, super aggressive. They cannot sit back and wait for the Bills to make a mistake. They can't play a ball controlled style. We've seen this before. That doesn't work. You got to come out. You got to take chances. That's the only way I see the Saints having a chance in hell of beating the Bills. They can't sit there and wait for the Bills to make mistakes because that just doesn't happen. We see the Bills are one of the smartest teams in the league, and they are great at not making mistakes. They just don't make them. Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over. We play within a system. We don't go crazy. Everyone plays within themselves, and it's a total team victory week after week, year after year. We just don't give up big, huge plays. We don't give up big, huge mistakes. So I think Spencer Rattler, if given the time, he's going to try to force some deep shots to Olave, and our secondary, as I've said before, Trey White, Benford, they need to be ready to go. Our defensive line, after the absolute terrible Week 3 showing, it's time for them to step up and get after it. I want to see them not get blown off the line of scrimmage. It was embarrassing last week. TJ Sanders, Daquan Jones, you need to have better showings. Defensive ends, Greg Rousseau, it's time for your name to be called at some point during a broadcast. I want to hear the announcers recognize that you are actually on the field. I want to know that you are ready to go. Also, Landon Jackson, this should be his time to shine. I want to see him activated. I want to see him get some reps. I want to see them turn him loose. Let's see what this kid can do. Let's get after it. Dorian Strong, I think he needs to play well whatever time he gets. If Milano's out, I don't know if they're going to try to attack the cornerbacks, and maybe they go to a bigger cornerback rotation with Benford and White, but if he gets time on the field, he needs to make the most of it, because while I know there's no timetable for Maxwell Hairston's return, it might not be long before there is a cornerback on the chopping block, and Strong needs to keep his name on the right side of that list. So whatever opportunities he's given, he needs to step up and show out on the defensive side of the ball. And then just the defense as a whole. I want to see them have a huge bounce back game on third down. They made the Dolphins look like absolute world beaters. They were getting third down after third down. It was crazy, the amount of conversions that they were picking up on third and longs. We need to stop them early and then get the hell off the field. Give the ball back to your offense. If we're going to do this power run game, which is probably what's going to happen, let's just control the clock for 40 minutes of this game and have them get to their plane early to get back to New Orleans. If we can limit their long drives, it should be much easier and a much shorter afternoon for our defense. Which brings me to the stress meter. Now, honestly, maybe I'm too sure of this Bills team. Maybe I'm too sure of their ability and what they've shown so far, and I don't really think too much of the Saints, but the stress meter is barely functioning this week, folks. I have no stress going into this game. Absolutely none, because in my opinion, the Saints are a dumpster fire. Outside of Olave, who, getting back to my earlier point, if the Bills can make a trade, if they can go after a wide receiver, if they're seriously considering wide receiver help, this is the guy I want. I want Chris Olave. I think he would be a great fit for Buffalo. If we can make a trade before the deadline, I would love to see him. But outside of him on this offense for the Saints, there is nothing on that side of the ball that scares me whatsoever. The Saints, in my opinion, have to play an absolute perfect game. And I think they would need some sort of special teams miracle, some sort of turnover, some sort of score in order to even have a chance to win this game. So my stress meter is at a 1. I'm not even sure if the machine is plugged in this week. But prediction, here we go. The Bills are favored by 16.5 points. This game is at home in Orchard Park at 1 o'clock. That's right, the lovely 1 o'clock kickoff that you Bills fans have been clamoring for so very long. The Bills will be rocking blue jerseys up top, white pants below, and a white helmet. The weather should be great. Forecast looks pretty good. People can get in, have a great time at the stadium, and get home to probably catch the second half of the Ravens-Chiefs game. It should be a glorious afternoon out there to go check out the stadium, be with fellow Mafia members. Yeah, that point spread, 16.5. I've seen it as high as 17, but it's back down to about 16.5. It's crazy for a week 4 spread, and this may be the biggest points margin we see in the entire league this year, but a lot of season bettors are avoiding the points. I will take the Bills and the points. I think we blow this game open, and by the fourth quarter, we see backups take the field. So I got the Bills winning 35-17 to go to 4-0, and we come home, or we stay home rather, and we start preparing for the Patriots on Sunday Night Football in Week 5. So that will wrap up the Week 4 Bills and Saints preview. If you have enjoyed this episode or any other episode of the 3Ts podcast, do me a favor and share it with someone you know. A quick bit of housekeeping. I will be out of town next week, and so my normal 3Ts podcast will probably not be happening. I will still try to get the Week 5 game preview of Bills Patriots coming to you, but I'm going to be taking the regular podcast off next week to celebrate my anniversary. But there you go. If you are a fellow Mafia member, share this game preview with another Mafia member. Hook a brother up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave me a quick review, and help me build this thing one episode at a time. I appreciate you all very, very much. So until next time, whether it's ripping packs, breaking tables, or dropping elbows, keep doing what you love. And as always, go Bills.